only Tuesday, and this week has been a very good week in the world of video games as far as news and information has been concerned. On Monday, we had Turok the Dinosaur Hunter come out on the Nintendo Switch, an upgraded version of the N64 Classic, and this game is arguably one of my favorite games that I've been playing in the month of March so far. It's absolutely fantastic, it looks great and it plays great, and of course we did a video on that. And then later Monday, we talked about the Atari VCS. Yes, the system is getting more power, but the system has also been delayed until the end of 2019, and a lot of people are getting very skeptical about the future of the Atari VCS. Today we learned about Google Stadia, the new Google platform that's going to be for gaming, all streaming, and more questions than answers were really brought to us in this presentation that was like an hour long, and it really left a lot of people scratching their heads on what the future of Google Stadia will actually be able to do. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we have a 30-minute Nindies Direct, but tonight Konami did something good, and that's shocking to say because Capcom has been doing good things this year and last year, and I'm not afraid to talk about Capcom, but Konami, like, they've just been messing up for years and years and years now. But tonight Konami released a information sheet about 3 upcoming collections that will be coming to the Nintendo Switch, the PS4, the Xbox One, and Steam, and I'm very excited about this. So what are these collections? Is the rumors true? Are Castlevania and Contra coming to the Nintendo Switch? Sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about these collections.
Hey, RGT 85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards! So tonight, Konami revealed that they are doing Konami 50th Anniversary collections that will be coming to the PS4, the Xbox One, Steam, and the Nintendo Switch. Play Konami's all-time classics on your favorite platforms. Dive back into the action. In this celebration with the 50th anniversary since Konami was founded, the Anniversary series highlights many of the iconic arcade games and classic console titles that have been loved by fans throughout the years and are being made available on the latest platforms. From shooters to action, these collections are packed with beloved titles that are simple to play yet addicting to the core. And scrolling down, you can see that there are 3 collections coming to us. We have the Anniversary Collection Arcade Classics, we have the Anniversary Collection of Castlevania, and we have the Anniversary Collection of Contra. So to say I'm a little bit excited about this would be a bit of an understatement. Now let's get some details on these different compilations. You can see that 2 of them, the Castlevania and the Contra Collection, are coming out in summer of 2019, but what about the Anniversary Collection for the Arcade Classics? Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Available April 18th, 2019. So that's pretty cool. It's going to be $20 digital only, which kind of sucks in my opinion. I really feel like they could have done these 3 compilations on 1 cartridge or 1 disc and sold them at $60 and people would have bought them with no problem, but digital only for now at least. Konami starts its 50th anniversary celebration with its first installment of the Anniversary Collection series of its all-time classics. This collection will include 8 arcade masterpieces from the 80s, from Nemesis to Haunted Castle. Experience these Konami classics in all their retro glory, now enhanced with modern features. So looking over at the games list, you can see that we have Haunted Castle, we have Typhoon, we have Nemesis, which is known as Gradius, we have Vulcan Venture, which is Gradius 2, Life Force, Salamander, Thundercross, Scramble, and Twin B. You also get a bonus ebook packed with information about the titles, including interviews with the development staff, behind the scenes insights, and sketches and design documents that were never before revealed to the public. So I honestly think that's pretty cool. You can see that they have some screenshots of Haunted Castle and all of the games. Of course, Haunted Castle was the arcade version of Castlevania that was really pretty under the radar in the grand scheme of things. Most people talk about the NES Castlevania games. They don't really talk about Haunted Castle. You can see we got some screenshots of Typhoon as well. All of the games have various screenshots over on Konami's website. And of course, these are going to be the arcade versions of these games, so you know that they're going to be running at a nice crisp resolution. And that's super cool in my opinion. You know, I'm glad that they're doing the arcade versions rather than the NES versions of these games, because let's be honest, a lot of us have played Gradius on the NES, a lot of us have played Salamander on the NES. It's better to do different games, of course, when you're doing the arcade stuff and to do these arcade versions. But of course, the real important questions are what is in the Castlevania compilation? Of course, the real important questions are what is in the Castlevania Anniversary Collection and what is in the Contra Anniversary Collection. We'll take a look at Contra first because Castlevania, you know, I just like Castlevania more than Contra. But looking at Contra, we have to select our region and our birth date because we are a child. Let's just put in a random birth date. I am very old. Submit. that is our actual real birthday. All right, here we go. Coming early summer 2019, the originator of the run and gun genre. The Contra Anniversary Collection brings the classic run and gun franchise back to modern platforms and a new generation of gamers. Grab power-ups and blast your way through waves of menacing enemies and bosses that will put your gamer reaction skills to the test. Alone or with a friend, Contra provides hours of nail-biting action. In a pinch, make sure you know the code. Now, I'll actually be interested to see if they're going to include any online stuff with this. Obviously, they are trying to do it for modern consoles, so will they have some sort of online play with these Contra games? Now, you only get 4 Contra games out of the 8 that have already been announced. So looking over at the list, we of course have the original Contra, and you can see that this is actually the arcade version of Contra, not the NES version of Contra. So that's pretty cool in my opinion, because obviously the Contra for the arcade was of course slightly better. You also have Super Contra as well. You have Super C, which of course was the NES Contra 2 that came out, and you have Contra 3, the Alien Wars, which came out on the Super Nintendo. Now, I'm very interested to see what these 4 other games are going to be, though, because there's a lot of different Contra games you can choose from. Some are more desirable than others. Are they going to include the NES version of Contra? It's not really being said here, but I think that's pretty cool that you're getting the arcade version of Contra as opposed to the NES version of Contra right out of the gate, and I'm really curious to see what other these 4 games are going to be, because that's going to be really interesting to see what they end up doing. Of course, you're going to get a bonus book with this as well. It'll probably be very similar to the one for the arcade compilation, so very cool stuff. But now we have to talk about Castlevania, baby. All right, so let's take a look at the Castlevania Anniversary Collection. The first Konami Castlevania Collection is designed to be a completed collection around the origins of the historic franchise. Included is a unique ebook that has details provided by developers, artists, and other inspired by the Castlevania legacy. Released as part of the Konami 50th anniversary celebration, now the best time, looks like there's a little bit of an error there. See, I'm not the only one who makes mistakes. Now's the best time to relive these timeless classics that help define the platforming genre. Once again, this is going to be a early summer 2019 release, and let's take a look at the games involved. So we have Castlevania, of course, the NES classic. That was, you know, the game that pretty much started Castlevania. You have Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, one of the best games on the NES, a real hardware pusher, no pun intended, just a fantastic game. Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge. I kind of like the Castlevania games on the Game Boy. I think they're a bit underrated, and Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge, honestly isn't a really super bad game or anything like that. It's very playable, and it can be pretty fun. And Super Castlevania 4, obviously a timeless classic, a game that a lot of people absolutely love. Now, once again, we have 4 games that are not being included in this compilation quite yet. Konami is taking their time with this, and they're obviously trying to build up some suspense. And right then and there, my brain starts to flow, because there's a lot of different ways they can take this. They can, of course, take this with Rondo of Blood. Obviously, I definitely feel like Rondo of Blood is going to be included in this collection. And then you also have games like Symphony of the Night. A lot of people are expecting and potentially hoping that Symphony of the Night is involved in this, because this will be the first time that Symphony of the Night will be available on the Nintendo Switch. So I think Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night should be involved in this collection. Some people are theorizing whether or not they will include DS games in this, because there's a lot of good DS games that were in the Castlevania series. Of course, Castlevania Dawn of Sorrows is one of my favorite games ever. I absolutely love that game, and I thought it was a really unique game. So to include something like that in this compilation, I think would be really cool. There's just a lot of different possibilities of different Castlevania games and different Contra games that they can include in this compilation. But all in all, I'm absolutely stoked for this compilation. I will buy all 3 of these. Not so, I don't really care too much about the arcade stuff from Konami. It was a bit before my time. I don't really have any nostalgia towards that, but I like the extra bonus features that are included. The things like the sketchbooks and the artwork and stuff like that. That sort of stuff is always really cool to me, so I'm definitely looking forward to checking that out. When it comes to Castlevania and Contra, though, those are day one purchases for me. I absolutely love both of those franchises. There's so many good memories with them, and to see them actually coming to the Nintendo Switch finally just feels right. There's been a lot of retro love on the Nintendo Switch so far. Like I said, we just saw this awesome version of Turok get released for the Nintendo Switch, so the more retro games on the Switch, the better. The more retro games on the Xbox One, the PS4, and Steam, the better. It's going to be pretty crazy to see a Super Nintendo classic, Super Castlevania 4, on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, but this is sort of how gaming is going. It's sort of breaking down these barriers of different things like consoles and really expanding into a larger market. marketplace. But obviously, I'm very excited for these compilations. I've been tripping over my words throughout this video and probably repeating myself, but I don't really care. Like, this is cool stuff to me. This is the reason I love my job, being able to share this information with you guys and being excited and passionate about these games. So yes, we're getting Castlevania and Contra this summer on the Nintendo Switch, the PS4, and the Xbox One, and Steam, and it just feels good. So keep it up, Konami. Let's do some Capcom-like moves. Bring these franchises back. When these compilations sell, I want you to explore these franchises again, just like Capcom did with Mega Man. It's time to do it with Castlevania. It's time to do it with Contra. Bring them back, baby. Bring them back. But I just wanted to share this information with you guys. So let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about this. Are you excited for these compilations? Are you like me? Do you wish that there was a physical version as well? Will you be picking these up? And what games do you think will be included with the Konami and the Castlevania ones? Or excuse me, the Contra and the Castlevania ones. And as always, thank you guys for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Check out other videos on the channel. I've been doing a lot of videos lately just because there's been a lot of fun stuff to talk about. And as always, I will catch you guys on the next one. Later.